Okay, here we go, guys, with the headlines this week. And it is no surprise that it is the coronavirus taking the center stage. So, some headlines are saying, our cruise is bad now. And for people that love the cruise, like myself, most of you watching this channel, we have to be careful we don't buy into the fear surrounding this. I personally am booked on a cruise going to the Western Caribbean on the MSC Seaside March 28th, and I have absolutely no intention of canceling that cruise because I'm not going to feed into the fear. And I think, we have to understand that now that this virus has been out for almost 2 months, that these ships are taking all the precautions they can. But let's look at some of the things happening and some of these headlines that are causing people to have such fear, and basically what the industry is doing about it to protect us and to protect our loved ones. So of course we've heard about the Diamond Princess. This has been in the headlines now for at least a month, and at this point, thank God the people have been able to get off the ship. They were actually disembarked to 30 different medical areas in Japan that took in these passengers. And the toll now of affected is approaching 600 on one ship. So this makes the people infected on one ship second only to the entire country of Russia, which I think has the highest population in the world. So it tells you that how quickly a viral infection can spread in a contained environment like a cruise ship. And so that is always a concern. Normally on ships, the big virus that plague cruise ships is the norovirus, which is a very common virus, but certainly can make you sick and give you stomach flus and things like that. But the precautions these new ships are taking now, and if you've been cruising recently, you see the hand sanitizers everywhere. They're wiping everything down. So now that this coronavirus has hit the way it's hit, they're doing so many things to do pre-screenings before passengers even get on. And I'm going to show you a headline that's going to dive into that a little bit further in this video. But what's coming up is a little clip on a spokesperson from
and the World Health Organization. Although many of our guests and crew have been repatriated to their home country, please be assured that our care team actions do not stop. Once our guests and crew emerge from the quarantine, we will work hard to get them home. Finally, for an operation of this scale, we depend on the global partnerships we have supporting all of us. Whether the guest or crew is on the ship or shore does not matter. Each are always a part of the Princess family, and we will continue to support them. Thank you.
These cruise lines are definitely doing what they need to do to protect us. And here's a list that Princess put out. It's a relatively common sense list, but it deserves mention and reinforcement of what we should be doing before we go on a cruise. Common sense stuff like pack extra medication for 14 days. Now, why 14 days? Because 14 days is the incubation period for the coronavirus. So if you did come down for it and you were put in quarantine, it's going to be a 14-day quarantine. So if you have medication like heart medication, high blood pressure medication or whatever, and it was a 10-day cruise and you only packed enough for 10 days, well, you got to add another 14 days onto that as a precaution, okay? That's the most important thing. Emergency contact information stands alone. That's common sense. Mobile phone instructions. Make sure that you're taking out with your mobile phone a policy that enables you, or a rider that enables you, to have an international plan while you're at sea. Because God forbid, if you were stuck, you want to be able to call no matter where you are. And you can get that rider from your mobile home providers, your mobile phone providers. And the other thing is travel protection. basically, travel protection, you definitely want to take that out and follow healthy travel habits. Like if you're washing your hands five times a day, wash them 15 times a day if you're on the cruise ship, because you're with a bunch of people and common sense stuff. If you do that, you're good to go, my friends. You should have no worries whatsoever. Now, this headline basically is talking about cruise stocks. Personally, I'm not a big stock speculator, and my opinion is not giving you stock advice. It's strictly my opinion. But that being said, cruise stocks are plummeting right now. And basically, that gives you an opportunity, if you're a stock investor, to jump in, because you're probably going to see cruise stocks at their lowest level in potentially a decade. So the question is, that being said, when do you know you should buy? And do you feel buying stocks? And comment below, because I want to hear your comments. Do you think buying stock or selling stock here, because this is kind of like a pandemic, is it ethical in a way to take advantage of that? Is that taking advantage because the stocks are sinking, and then you buy as a result of this crisis? Comment below, let me know. Personally, I think what will happen is they'll bottom out in about 8 to 12 months, and you will start to see the rise again once the vaccine that is being developed has been tested and people feel secure taking the vaccine. That being said, all the people that have canceled and that won't be going on cruises this year, in the next 6 to 12 months, because they're in the wait and see mode, there'll be pent up demand. So they're probably going to bottom out big time in about 6 months. So that would be the time, if I was personally going to jump into it, I would be jumping into it there. We're probably going to be looking at about a 30% drop in some stocks, maybe 50%. Okay, here's an interesting headline. This is kind of like a sci-fi type headline, but this is what's happening, people, right now as we speak. Airports are putting out these thermal imaging systems that basically they're taking your temperature while you're waiting in line to board a plane. The cruise lines, from what I've heard, are going to start doing this too. So if you're spiking a temperature, even though it might not be the coronavirus, if you're spiking at a certain level, you're going to be pulled out. And you're going to be interviewed and you're going to be inspected. And if they think you're a potential carrier, they're gonna decide on caution and probably not let you board. So that's what they're doing now. They're really over precautious with this virus, and it's just something you have to prepare for going in to the future and understanding that. So just be aware of that. There will be delays when you're boarding and dealing with getting on. And again, comment below. Do you think this is overboard, them taking thermal imaging of you before you get on a plane or get on a cruise ship? I don't think it's overboard. I think, we have to do what we have to do. And thermal imaging is a great way to do it. Sure, some people are going to be pretty pissed off if they get, pulled, not allowed to board a cruise ship or a flight because they just happen to have a temperature that day. And that's going to happen. And, I hope it doesn't happen to many people and myself, because I'm still jumping on planes and going on cruises. But it's going to. But I think it's necessary based upon everything that's going on. And the other thing I want to mention is a lot of attractions are being affected. So if you're going to an event, if you're going to Disneyland, I would start checking what they're going to be doing as far as monitoring this virus and their procedures. I know there's one event. It's a fitness event, Arnold Schwarzenegger's fitness event, and they're actually going to be taking temperatures of participants. I don't know. I don't think they're going to do it on attendees, but certainly when you're going to be in an environment where there's, that particular event's going to have 400,000 people, going through it in 4 days. That's a lot of potential exposure. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be going to big events or going to areas that you're potentially exposing yourself. Personally, I would not stop that from myself from going to an event that I've been looking forward to going on, but everyone has to make their own decision. Okay, everybody, that's it for the headlines for the past few days. As always, if you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button. This is a new channel, so I look forward to bringing more content your way in the headlines of cruises, travel, and fitness. Have an awesome day.